Everyone, how are we doing? So yes, welcome to my studio. This is basically my room where I conduct all my online classes. So thank you for taking the time on this weekday for joining in, and thank you, Plum, for having me. So today's session, we're going to be talking about fitness. We're going to be, talking basically what is fitness, and I'll be sharing with you a couple of things that from my experience, I have learned, or the fitness or the field has evolved for me, what it used to be and what I used to think of it, but what it is now. So I'm going to share all that with you. And also, I'm going to share with you a couple of exercises that you can do in your own home, in your own room. You'll see once we start, I've got a lot of different equipments right over here, but you don't even need equipment when you're about to start with your fitness journey. Sometimes your own body weight is more than enough to get you through and help you achieve those goals. So just going to start with a little bit, small little introduction. Okay. Basically, my name is Shivohaam. I've always been into sports. So I was a national level swimmer, a water polo swimmer. I was my water polo captain when I went to college, junior and senior college. So always been into fitness in some way or the other. But a lot of you who are probably, this generation or same age as mine, as me, would kind of agree with me that nobody ever knew what the term fitness was when we were kids. We didn't know what fitness was. We didn't know what a six pack was. We just knew how to play and be active, which we don't see a lot of people, a lot of kids doing today. I mean, you hardly see kids in any building compound, playing games like Sakli and Chor Police. And I still remember, when we were kids and it was school holidays, our entire routine used to be set based on the day. So, we used to get up in the morning, and of course, we used to start with playing cricket or something, play that till the afternoon. Then, of course, when it got really hot, we came home, we played either some board games, or if one of us had some video games, and we played video games. We slept for a bit in the afternoon, which was a siesta. And then, of course, in the evening, we'd go down and we'd start playing different kind of games. And then, of course, when it got dark, which was our the most fun part, then that's when we played Dabba I Spice and hide and seek and stuff. And we were about 15, 20, 25 kids from all neighboring buildings would meet and we'd play. So we never knew what fitness was. We just knew how to be active. We would climb trees, we would break fruits from the trees. I still remember all of that. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of you have shared that similar kind of childhood. And especially when it came to food. I was just telling one of my clients today, that yesterday I had the urge to have a Maggie. I didn't even think twice. I was like, so what? It's a Maggie, big deal. We've grown up eating Maggie. I mean, this whole thing of nutrition and diet and everything, it's good. It's really important that you watch your food. It's really important that with science, we've got to know how food affects our body, how it affects our life, how it affects our thinking. It's very important. But at the same time, if you feel like having a Maggie or if you feel like having a pizza or a burger, there's no need for you to lose your sleep over it. Yes, out of 100% in the whole day, if 20% of it is allotted to food that you really would like to eat, your cravings, that's absolutely fine. That's not a big deal. Okay. But those of you who want to eat clean, who want to eat healthy, that's also very easy to do. So as kids, we never knew, we never knew that. We just ate what our parents gave us. And, we didn't even know of the word stress. We didn't even know of the word depression until a few years back when it suddenly became such a big thing that, there's stress in my life, there's this, there's that. I mean, we all go through stress, whether it's work stuff. And I wouldn't call it stress. It is basically your body or your mind getting out of your comfort zone, which causes you to be a little bit uncomfortable. That uncomfortable feeling is basically what we call as stress. And stress is something that you cannot avoid it. But what you can do is you can actually train your mind and you can train your body how to deal with it in the most best possible and efficient way. That's what I mean. I think that would probably be the definition of fitness. Even when you think about physical exercise, a lot of people don't like exercising because it puts them in a very uncomfortable situation, a place, something which their body is not allowing them to like. And that's absolutely natural. We got to understand that the only purpose for a human body is to survive. All right, it's basically homeostasis. It's coming in balance. That is what the body is always striving to do. Whether you eat something, whether you pop a crocin, whether you have alcohol, no matter what it is, it throws off the balance inside the body, and then the body is continuously working and coming into balance. Simple experiment, I read it somewhere and we thought about it. It's actually quite cool. If you stand on, basically if you stand straight with your feet together, with your arms by your side, and you just close your eyes, you will feel that you are always swaying forward or backwards, and all that the body is doing naturally, automatically, is trying to come to balance, basically hold you still so you don't fall. That is the purpose of a body. So yes, when you do exercises, some people might like it, some people do not like it. That's absolutely normal. We were never meant to lift 300 kgs. We were never meant to run 42 kilometers at a stretch. Humans, we have made it a sport, which is again absolutely fine. But if somebody wants to start with a fitness journey, just walking is also absolutely fine. Being active, that is what you want to do, whether it's yoga, whether it's Pilates, whether it's CrossFit, whether it's weight training, whether it's playing a sport, whether it's taking your dog for a walk, anything, no matter what it is, just try and move as much as you can. Okay, that's probably my idea of being fit, is that you are muscular enough so that your body, because remember, your muscles are basically what hold your joints together. It's the joint stability which comes from the muscle. So you do need to add a little bit of resistance training into your workouts or into your daily schedule. So being a little muscular, being healthy when it comes to flexibility, mobility, being able to sit on the ground with folded legs, being able to take your hand all the way back, not being very stiff, and at the same time, being fit enough mentally to deal with any situation that comes in life that kind of throws you off and makes you uncomfortable. Again, bring it back. It's a continuous practice, which cannot happen in a day, it cannot happen in a month, but it's a progression. It keeps happening. I think that is what, to me, fitness would be if somebody asked me what is being fit. So yeah, I started my journey as a swimmer, and went on to the national levels. I swam backstroke. So always been into sports. I started training, I think, in the ninth standard, after watching Rocky and Rambo and these kind of movies which were coming on. Kind of got inspired by that, and that's when I started training at home, because the gyms at that time didn't allow you until you were 18 years old. So that's when I started. And then once I was 17, I think I went to the gym and started lifting. And probably because of my genetics and because of my early years as a swimmer and being active, my body did change very drastically, and I kind of, became muscular and stuff. So people did notice it, and they would keep asking me, oh, what are you doing today? Let's train together. At that time, I never in my wildest dreams thought I would become a fitness coach, but who knew? So I went to Australia to study animation, and I'm studying animation, and one day I was sitting in front of my screen, and I was trying to remodel a car or something. I think that was it. And I said, this is not something that I want to do for the rest of my life. I cannot sit in one place and do this. I need to be out. I need to do something. I don't know what. I know that this is something which I cannot do. Parents were quite supportive and blessed to have that. I called up my mom and I said, listen, hey, I can't study anymore. I'm quitting. She's like, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. And since then, till I found my coaching, my passion, I worked as a waiter. I worked as a salesperson. I worked as a dishwasher. I would sweep. And I've done all sorts of jobs. All right. Then I started selling gym memberships for a brand. And 1 year down, I thought, you know what? Let me look into getting into the managing part of the gym. That's where I got into the training part and took my first client. And I was like, wow, this is something which I'm going to do for the rest of my life. This is something which I love. This is my passion, and now I'm getting paid for it. So if there was anything that I could share with you from experience, is that not it's not possible always to know what you want to do in life, but if you get a chance, if you're in a position or in a situation where you are able to take that risk and follow your passion, please do. Because waking up every morning and wanting to go to work and wanting to do that one thing which you love, I mean, I can't think of anything better than that. So that is probably one of the things that I would, really uh, get people to do. And like I said, if the situation is there and if you can do it, please follow your passion. So yeah, I got into training. I found CrossFit and I moved to India in 2009. And in 2009, I set up, I did a small boot camp where I had 100 people come for the boot camp, and it was a real big success. And that's when I decided that, you know what, I think it's time for me to set up an actual gym. So in 2000, end of 2009, mid 2010, I think, is when I set up the first CrossFit box in India. People didn't even know what the word CrossFit was. They didn't know what it was, nothing. And it became really popular. And I remember somebody telling me, you know what, I think this is a trend. Don't depend on it, because people won't stick by it. It's too kind of out there. And this is something that I've just realized. A trend or something becomes a trend when the person who starts it loses passion and loses focus for it. That's when it becomes a trend. It becomes really popular at one time. When the person who started it kind of loses passion, it fizzles away and it became a trend. But if you stick by it, if you keep at it every single day and you do not lose your focus, that's when it becomes something bigger than that. That's when it's not a fad, it's not a trend. That's when it becomes successful. And I think probably I didn't care what people thought, I didn't care what people said. I just knew that this is something which I love and I'm going to keep doing this. And it kind of just turned out, and the rest is history, because it turned out absolutely fine. Trained some of the top celebrities there are in the Bollywood industry. Thousands of people from all across the world now being online. It's grown even better. A lot of different coaches, a lot of different box owners. They've come, they've trained under me, and they've started their own places. So really, really proud of that. And yeah, that's where it's basically gone. So I'm here today. That was a little bit of a history. I'm sorry to bore you with the background, but I'm here today to take you through some very basic movements that you can do in your own home. All right. So we're not going to use any equipment. We're not going to be doing anything crazy. I'm just going to take you first through some basic stretches, which we'll do either for the back, we'll do for the shoulder, we'll do for the hips, we'll do for the knees. And after we do that, I will take you through 4 very basic movements. One is for upper body. So I'm going to show you the most fundamental movement, which is the push-up. I'm going to do one lower body. I'm going to show you squat. I'm going to show you a core, an ab exercise, not a core. Core and abs are completely different. So I'm going to show you an ab exercise, which is basically sit-ups, a core exercise, which is like a plank, and then maybe a cardio movement like either mountain climbers or high knees, depending on what you can do. All right. One more thing before we get into it. Remember that I believe that fitness is for everybody. It's a movement. Everybody is entitled to it. Everyone is entitled to being fit. And that is something which you need to understand. So if, this is something which has evolved and I've kind of understood over time, is that it doesn't need to be as crazy and hectic as Instagram and social media shows it to be. Fitness can start off very simply. All right. And that's why I basically have this 21-day boot camp, which happens online on Instagram. And a lot of beginners from all across the world are there on it. And my idea is to make you fall in love with exercise. It has to be simple. It has to be doable. And if there's something that you cannot do, there are always ways to make it doable for you. Doesn't matter what level of fitness you're at, doesn't matter what intensity you're training at, but you should be able to do these very few basic movements. So this is what I'm going to show you today. And yeah, if you want to do it along with me, you're more than welcome to do that. If you have any questions regarding the movements, you can put them on the chat, and we'll be having a good 15-20 minute question answer. So whether it's exercise, whether it's diet, anything that you want to ask, fitness related, we'll speak about that as well. Okay, so before we move on, just make sure if you're training, then you have a water bottle with you. You can see me clearly. I'm going to switch to the phone, which is already set up. So I'm going to switch to that, and we'll start from there. Okay, and yeah, I mean, before we begin, does anyone have any questions? Then we can start from there. Yes, absolutely. If I mean, acid reflux is something which can be is curable. There was a time when I was kind of having something similar to acid reflux, which probably is a reason, something is wrong with your digestion. Yeah, two things that really helped me. One was apple cider vinegar, and another thing was isabgol. These two things really helped me. Also, if you've made a sudden change in your diet, or if you're eating too late, it can also happen because you have too many meals at very erratic times. Try to keep the meals at consistent time every single day, and your digestion will come back to normal. You will actually be surprised to know that your thought process, your emotions, deal with or affect your digestion directly. So if you're going through a lot of stress, or if you are going through a lot of thinking emotionally, mentally, all that kind of stuff, it plays a very big role on your digestion. So you can definitely do some breath work. You can definitely do a program which helps you kind of relax your mind as well. Okay, so we're going to get started. We're going to go straight into it. I'm going to switch on the camera for my phone so you guys can do that. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so I've switched on the other one. I hope that is clear. I'm going to switch off the video over here. Okay, cool. Super. Cool. So I hope that this is clear. We're going to get down on the floor. Okay. We're going to start off with some very basic stretches. So the first one that we're going to do is called a downward dog to an upward dog. Okay. So basically, in a downward dog position, you keep your hands, keep your fingers completely open, index finger pointing straight ahead. Feet and hands are at the same distance apart from each other, pushing your hips all the way up. In this position, I want you to feel a good stretch in your shoulders, feel a good stretch in your back, feel a good stretch in your hamstrings. Okay. And then from here, all we're going to do is lean forward and drop the hips down. Remember to push the shoulders away from your ears, look straight and up again. Okay. One, and come forward. Breathe out as you come forward and up. Breathe in and up. Good. We're just going to do two more. Back, downward dog position. Come forward. Good. And one more. There you go. A really good stretch for your back, for your hamstrings as well. The next one we're going to do is called a thoracic rotation. So a lot of you who are sitting on the computer all day or sitting on a desk all day, you'll feel that your upper back gets really tight, and automatically your posture becomes, very, very concave type. It folds in. So we're going to do this very quick stretch mobility drill, which will help you with your upper back. Okay, so on all fours, make sure that your palm is right under the shoulder. Your hands are right under the shoulder. You're going to take one hand, put it behind your head. You're going to lean under and up and big stretch. One, rotating up, down. Two, three. Okay, you're going to do 10 on each side, and then we're going to switch sides. Again, down. One, two, one more, and three. Okay, so that is a thoracic rotation. Next one that we're going to do is a scapular push-up. Scapular push-up. Now we got to understand that a lot of injuries happen in the shoulder. A lot of people have issues with their cervical or the neck area. It gets really tight, gets spasmed up. So the shoulder blades, all right, the two blades at the back of the shoulder, they are very important. Okay, 6 different muscles attached to those blades. So basically, they're responsible for you to have a nice, strong posture. Okay, so if they are weak, if they are not stable, if they are unconditioned, then your posture will go out for a toss. So working on stability and strength of the shoulder blade is very important. And one of the exercises that you can do that with is the scapular push-up. Okay, so once again, now this you can either do it on the toes or you can do it on your knees. Spread the fingers out. From here, squeeze your shoulder blades back and push them out all the way. Again, squeeze it back with control and up. Slow and steady. Again, 10 repetitions of these. Okay, we're just going to do one more. Squeeze the shoulder blades and up. Okay, so that is your shoulder blade activity that you can do as a part of the warm-up. I keep these 10 exercises, which I do before every single warm-up, especially upper body, lower body, doesn't matter. I do these all exercises just to get the blood flowing and get the mobility going. Okay, next one that we're going to do is called a bird dog reach. So in this position, in all fours, from here, we're going to stretch one leg behind and the opposite hand forward. Stretch that leg back, bring it in with control, stabilize yourself, and then again, lift and down. Okay, if you feel this difficult, you can straighten the leg, put it behind on the ground, and then raise the other hand up. Again, bring it in and up. This is a good core movement where you're basically working your core. So to stabilize yourself, really important to understand the importance of your core. When I say core, I don't mean abs. Abs are very superficial, they're on top. Core is something which holds your spine and holds your posture together. All right, so when you're walking, when you're sitting, when you're running, every time it's your core which is being activated. And having a weak core can cause a lot of issues, especially when it comes to the back and other postures as well. Okay. Next, we're going to do is for the hips, we're going to do leg swings. So you can hold something for support and just swing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do 10 and then again switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. 10. Okay. Next one we're going to do is hip circle. So again, either keep your hands on the hips or you can hold on to something from here, bringing the knee up and turning it all the way around. 1, 2, and in, and out, and in. Again, 10 on each side, then change sides. 1, and in, and out, and in. Again, you're sitting all day. Hips get really tight. Being in this position all the time, your hip flexor gets very, very tight. So now from here, because it's tight, remember, in the body, nothing works in isolation. Everything works together. So if one aspect which is your hip, it's really tight. Now, if you're trying to move and this is not moving, automatically the other aspects of the hip start working a little bit more. That's again when you find you're getting hip pain, you're getting knee pain. The pain either always moves up or it moves down. Having really tight hips, your posture will automatically become rounded. Your lower back will become rounded. This will become tight. You'll start feeling it in the back. So making sure, even if you don't exercise, walk, do some activity, and do your basic either yoga or Pilates or just basic mobility work will keep your joints healthy and will keep you flexible and fit. Okay, you don't have to have a six-pack. You don't have to run marathons. Just be active. Okay, so these are some basic movements that you can do. Of course, besides this, mobilizing the wrist, mobilizing the elbow, shoulder rotations forward and back, neck rotations, basically starting from the neck and move all the way down, keeping your hands on the hips, hip circles, hip rotations. Again, just getting those joints moving. Okay, once you've done this warm-up, okay, now we're going to do the 4 exercises. So one, we're going to do the upper body movement. We're going to do push-ups. Okay, so I'm going to take you through a push-up. When you're doing push-up on the ground, okay, fingers completely open, index finger always pointing straight ahead. Make sure the palm is always directly under the shoulder, not too far forward, not behind. Feet together. So this is your plank position. Now from here, you want to go down all the way. So down to the ground and breathe up and up. Okay. Making sure there's no snake movement. Think of it this way. If I had to pick up a rope from one end, it's not going to come up from the other end. Okay, it's really loose. But if I pick up a stick from one end, the other end also comes up. So you want to try and hold your body together and strong like a stick, not like a rope. Okay, now clearly, if you cannot do push-ups on your toes, we're going to move down to the knees. So this is how we do the push-ups on the knees. Get in your position, plank position to start with. Drop your knees down to the ground. Feet are on the ground, leaning forward. Now, over here, what you normally see people do is the hips are up in the air and they're basically trying to touch their forehead to the ground. No, lean forward, be at the straight incline. Now from here, down, touch your chest down to the ground and push yourself off. Even if you can't go down all the way, that's fine. Just go down halfway and come up. Halfway and come up. The push-up works your chest, your shoulders, your back, your triceps, and your core. So you're getting an all-round upper body workout with the push-ups, okay? After I complete the movements, I will tell you how you can put them together in your own workouts. Then, of course, you can be creative enough to make your own different workouts when you're at home. Now that, of course, gyms have started. So if you're going to the gym, otherwise, if you're traveling, you can always do them when you're traveling in your hotel room or by the pool, in the garden, wherever you are. Okay. Next we got squats. So feet always shoulder width apart. Okay. Slightly turned out, depending on your posture, depending on your framework. Either your feet will be too straight or too much out. Okay, so try and keep it slightly in between. Now, when we stand straight, all I want you to do is first load the hips. So push the hips slightly behind. Okay, push them back and squat and up. Pushing your knees away from each other. Now, if you cannot squat all the way down, if you've got weak knees, not a problem. Use a chair. Sit down on the chair and stand up. All right. Now, a lot of you will also see that if you're sitting all day, if you've got really bad flexibility, you might end up leaning too far forward. That's fine, not a problem. In that case, what you can do is hold on to something, okay? From here, keep your feet in the shoulder width apart and hold it and squat down and come back up. So get in the habit of keeping the back nice and upright, okay? Very simple. Once again, Make sure the weight is all the way on the feet, especially on the heels. You never want to come up on the toes unless you're doing a calf raise. Okay. And then from there, push the hips back, down and up, come up and squeeze the glutes. Okay. Stand up all the way. Look straight ahead. Now that was your squat. Squat works your hips, works your glutes, works your hamstrings, works your quads, works your calves, works your core. Again, an all-round beautiful fundamental movement is your squats. Once you get better at this movement, you can start adding some weight, either holding a water bottle in your hand or wearing a backpack with some weight on it. If you have a newborn, hold the newborn into the squat. Okay. Next, we have sit-ups. Now, when you're doing sit-ups, the way we're going to do it is you're going to keep your feet together, put your knees across, or push your knees away from each other, sitting up upright. You're going to go down, keep your hands behind, come up, and take your hands up. This forces you to keep your body straight. Initially, if that's not happening, not a problem. Okay, down, come up, touch your feet, and then again down and up. Breathe out as you come up. Okay, this is the first option. If you can do it all the way. If you cannot do it all the way, not a problem. Keep your knees bent. Keep your hands at the back. Just come up and touch your hands on your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is another one that you can do for your abs. Okay. 6-pack abs. Next one that we're going to do is a plank. Okay, now plank, once again, like I said, plank is basically for your core. Okay, it is to make sure that you have a strong core so your spine is protected, your posture is good, and you don't end up getting any back pain. Because if you're again sitting all day, you're not doing any exercise, your core is going to be weak, and then all of a sudden you bend down to pick up something really light off the floor. That's when the injuries happen. Think about it. If you pick up something really heavy off the floor and you know it's heavy, your body is ready. Your body already knows, okay, I'm going to pick up something which is 30 kilos, 40 kilos, a suitcase from the ground. So I need to brace myself and hold myself really tight. No injuries happen then. 99% of the time, it is when you're picking up something light from the floor, like a pillow. You bend down, your body's, no, it's a pillow. I don't need to really do anything. I don't need to hold my muscles together. That's when the injury happens. That's when you end up pulling something or getting a spasm or something. So always making sure that the core is strong will help you and will prevent injuries. Okay, so plank, we can either do the plank on your forearms or you can do the plank on your palms. Starting with the feet. Feet together. Squeeze your legs out, so lock your knees. Now over here, I want you to tuck your hips in. So when I say tuck your hips in, if you stand straight, keep your hands on the hips. All I want you to do is just kind of tilt the hips slightly forward, tuck it in. The minute you tuck it in, you'll feel that your abs have contracted, your back has flattened out. That is the same thing what you want to do. What you don't want to do is pushing the chest out and arching the back. You don't want that arch in the back. Okay, if you see that arch happening, that's what you want to stop. Hips tucked in, tilt the hips forward. Okay, so tilt the hips in. Now again, almost like you're doing a crunch. So pull the belly button close to the chest, pull it in, tuck it in. Okay, so from this position, hips tucked in, belly button as close to the chest as possible, shoulders right over your palms, and maintaining this position. Okay, same thing you can do on your elbows as well. Okay, same thing you can do on your elbows and same thing you can do on your palms. You can shift between the two for variation, not a problem. All right. Now, last one that you're going to do is if you've got a skipping rope, you got a skipping rope. If you've got high knees, jogging on the spot, marching on the spot, not a problem. You can do this too. You can do mountain climbers. That is basically your cardio movement. Okay. Now, these are the 4 exercises 5 exercises that I want you to add into your routine. Now I'm going to explain to you how to do that. So I'm going to shift back to the laptop. All right. Okay. Cool. So how we do this is basically few different variations. I just want you to keep two in mind. One is 4 time. So when I say 4 time, what I basically mean is think that tomorrow is your first day of exercising. You're just going to do 2 rounds, 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 sit-ups, 30 seconds plank hold, and 30 seconds or 1 minute skipping or any of the cardio movements. This circuit, repeat it twice. Very basic, just to kind of understand your body, just to know that, okay, this is what a push-up feels like. This is my intensity. This is where I can push myself. Okay. All right. Now, as you get better, keep the number of repetitions to 10. You can increase the round. So do another round, 3 rounds. Once you reach 4 rounds, keep it at 4 and now increase the repetitions by 2. So you start off with 2 rounds, 10 repetitions of each, do 3 rounds. When you get better, reach to 4 rounds. When you get better, don't go any more than 4 or don't go any more than 3. At 3, keeping the round same, now increase the repetitions. Okay, that is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is you designate yourself a time. So you say, okay, I'm going to give myself today 10 minutes. That's all that I can do. I don't have more time. I have to go to work. I've got my deadlines, family, all that stuff. Not a problem. I'm going to do 10 minutes in the morning when I wake up before breakfast. So in 10 minutes, what you're going to do is in 10 minutes, you're going to do 5, 30 seconds, 5 push-ups, 5 squats, 5 sit-ups, 30-second plank, 30-second cardio, and keep repeating that for 10 minutes. Now, as you keep getting better, you can basically do 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes max. Don't go more than 20. And then once you reach 20, you can start increasing the repetitions. Be creative. All right. You know your body better than I do. You will be able to be a better judge of how much you can push yourself and how much rest you need to take. The most important thing about this is figure out your body yourself. Okay, rest as much as needed to feel comfortable, but as minimal as required. Okay, that is the second option. Third, very, very easy, doable option. 3 rounds, 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest. So you're going to do 30 seconds, as many push-ups as you can, then take a 30-second break. Then do 30 seconds of squats, 30-second break, 30-second sit-ups, 30-second break. Repeat this entire thing either 2 or 3 times. Again, depending on your intensity, how much you can push yourself, do that. Once you're done with that, then you can go 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. Sorry. So again, like you see, you can be as creative as you like. You can make your unlimited number of permutations and combinations. If you want to do just upper body and cardio, just choose push-ups and maybe 2 upper body movements like say push-ups and dund, and you can choose a cardio movement like mountain climbers or skipping. Some days you want to do lower body and abs. So Monday you do upper body and cardio, Tuesday you do lower body and abs, Wednesday you take a break, do some stretching, do mobility, go for a walk. Thursday again upper body and cardio, Friday again lower body and abs, Saturday go for a walk, do some cardio, do some stretching, Sunday take a complete day off, relax. So it's not very difficult to plan your workouts. Now you'll ask me what's a better combination, what's a better split. You go online, you will see trillions and millions and billions of different permutations and combinations, and everyone saying my way is the right way, my way is the best way. No, it doesn't work that way. What works for you is the best way for you. All right. So of course, as a coach, when you come to me, I will give you a certain number of programs that you do, but when you're trying to figure out for yourself, you are your own coach. Okay, so make those different exercises, play around, treat it like a playground, have fun with the movements, have fun with exercising. Don't let it be too much of a struggle. And of course, don't overestimate and try to overachieve. Start something slow, start something light, and then you can build up from there. So I hope that helps. And remember, after you're done, always finish off with at least 5 minutes of very basic stretching, your shoulders, triceps, legs, okay, really basic stretching, and you will be good. All right. So I think that helps. I think I don't want to go too much in detail because if you're doing it for the first time, it can kind of confuse you a little bit. But I think we've got some questions now that we can answer. So maybe we can clear your doubts and clear the confusion, and then we'll take it from there. Of course, if you want to get in touch, then the website's always there. You can get in touch with Plum and they'll help you get in touch with me as well. So either way, I'm always there on Instagram. I reply to every single person as long as the questions are decent and they actually are important to you. I will always reply.